Let's see, America. Let's see, America. If you're flushing all kinds of sewage into the rivers and lakes and streams and creeks of America, how many viruses are you flushing into the public waterways? The Hudson River is nothing but an open sewer. The Lachute River that runs from Lake George to Lake Champlain is nothing but an open septic tank. The Great Lakes are full of sewage. The Great Lakes in the St. Lawrence Seaway are nothing more than a leachate-filled death trap full of viruses. Lots of the Canadian villages and the Canadian towns and cities use the St. Lawrence River to get rid of their sewage. New York uses New York Harbor and off the shores of Block Island and off the shores of Long Island to dump huge amounts of municipal trash on garbage barges. As coronavirus spreads all over the world, I'm confronting Governor Andrew Cuomo about the lake flushing. The wintertime lake flushing, the drawdowns on Lake George, New York. David Wick with the Lake George Park Commission. Who is it exactly that owns and controls the financial reins of New York State's environmental conservation? The Lake George Park Commission, the Lake George Land Conservancy, the Darren Freshwater Institute, Raybrook, New York of DEC, Basal Sagos. Who exactly is it that's giving licenses and permits to dump sewage and sewage leachate into all of New York State's waterways? The Great Lakes are nothing more than giant mill ponds. They're used to flush huge amounts of municipal sewage down the St. Lawrence River, which is nothing more than an open sewer, just like the Hudson River. My questions are directed to the Warren County Board of Supervisors in Queensbury, New York, and the town of Queensbury, and the New York State Legislature, and the Lake George High School, the Lake George Central School System, the Queensbury School System, the Bolton Landing School Systems, all the people that live around these open sewers. How many viruses are flushed with all this sewage leachate that's leaching from the septic tanks into Lake George? Tom West, you're a lawyer. Come on, Fund for Lake George. Let's get Chris Novinsky and Kathy Bozzoni, and let's discuss how sewage leachate gets into Lake George. All the septic systems, the saturated brown fields of the leach fields that leak into Lake George, New York. I think the town or the village board, Mr. Crosito and Mr. Dickerson, I think it's time to address all the sewage leachate and the viruses that are spread all over Lake George and the Poop Chute River. Now to the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo. Anywhere, anytime, bring Basal Sagos and your Attorney General, and let's have a discussion on the massive contamination in New York State with sewage dumped from cities, towns, and villages all over the state. So, folks, that's my coronavirus report for this morning. All the links and information that you could possibly ever ask for are posted right below, and if you have any questions, make sure I am made aware of them. As always, hasta la vista, and you betcha, we're definitely coming back. Oh, look at that, quarantine cruise ship in Oakland, California.